Hi everybody, I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I am an immigration attorney. I'm based outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia. However, my clients are all throughout the United States. We represent them in all types of immigration matters. Say hello if you're joining me for the first time, or if you're just joining, feel free to say hi. We're streaming on multiple platforms here. On Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, so you might see me kind of flipping back and forth on different screens. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not just looking all over the place. Okay, but feel free to put your questions in. Hi Natasha, nice to see you. Hi Anjana, nice to see you. Feel free to say hi if you're just joining. Hi Dave, hi Shiva. Nice to see you guys. I'm here to help you kind of get some more clarity in understanding immigration. Maybe you have an immigration application. Maybe you know someone that needs assistance with immigration, right? So feel free to share this with them, or like our page on our various platforms. We're at Agarwal Immigration on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, at Agarwal Immigration. That's Agarwal with just one G, Agarwal Immigration. My name is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I'm based in Washington, D.C., but my clients are all throughout the United States. Some of them are international as well. And we can help you with most types of immigration cases. So some of the common ones we deal with, if you want to put your questions in, I see I'm getting a few in here already on TikTok. But go ahead and put your questions in. There are a few that I want to get to today, just because I have them already and I wasn't able to get to them before. So put your questions in and I will do my best to get to them. Unfortunately, I can't be here for too long. I have some sick children at home. Shiva says, hello, this is Rohit. Hi, Rohit. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining me. So I have some sick children at home, so I gotta run home, but I will do my best to answer your questions. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna get to my first question of the day, which is usually what I have before that I think will be helpful to you guys, and feel free to ask questions about that or put other things that you want to know about, maybe your own case, maybe someone else. But if you haven't already followed us or liked us on our social media platforms, please make sure to go ahead and do that. Follow us on all of our platforms. Like us on Facebook. We are at Agarwal Immigration, and of course share this with people that you think might want to hop on and ask some questions or might be interested in getting some answers about immigration. All of you will be notified when I go live. Okay? All right. What is the marriage-based green card interview going to be like? Like, that's the question I get most often. So what is that marriage-based green card interview going to be like? So number one, the interview for a marriage-based green card is different if you're in the U.S. versus outside of the U.S., right? When you're outside the U.S. and your spouse has applied for a green card for you, you're usually going by yourself. Your spouse is not going with you. They've already proven to the government that this is a marriage that's real. It's not just for immigration purposes. That's already been approved. And then when you go to the visa interview at the embassy abroad, they're just trying to verify that your information is correct, that you don't have a criminal record, you don't have any health issues that would prevent you from getting a green card, right? So they kind of go through all of these different, what we call admissibility factors, to make sure they can issue you a visa. Once you enter the U.S. with this visa, you will then receive your physical green card in the mail. So that's the difference between if you are applying from abroad and you go to a marriage-based interview. A marriage-based interview in the U.S. requires both the husband and the wife to be there. So this is for a joint sponsorship type of case. There are many cases where you can apply without your spouse's help. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is if your spouse and you are in a happy marriage and they're sponsoring you for a green card, okay? So you would go together, and most of the time the questions will be asked. They'll review your application and they'll ask you questions with both of you in the room. However, if they suspect fraud, before you even enter the interview, sometimes they might run an investigation and see that things don't line up, or they suspect that the relationship is not real, that it's just for immigration purposes. If that happens, then when you enter, you're already split apart, right? You enter for your interview and you're put in different rooms, or you're interviewed at different times, and you're asked the same types of questions, and they're looking for inconsistencies in your answer. Okay, so the thing is, number one, be truthful and honest, right? If everyone is truthful, you're going to say the same thing, okay? And it's okay to be nervous, but the more you prepare, the more you work with people that kind of know what to expect, they can prepare you for it, meaning give you some practice so it's not all new and scary when you go into that interview. All right, so give us a call if we can help you with your marriage-based applications, your marriage-based green card interviews. We work with them pretty often. We love working with them. It's a great opportunity for us to help you guys start your life together too. Okay, so give us a call if we can help you with that. 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663 to schedule a consultation. We're doing our consultations by phone, by Zoom, and in person, so just choose your preference. If you want to call our office to schedule, you can do that, or you can schedule yourself online on our Facebook page. There's a link where you can see my availability and schedule online, or you can check out our website, agarwalimmigration.com, to schedule a consultation. All right, I look forward to meeting many of you in person, on Zoom, on the phone. I look forward to helping you with your immigration questions. Okay, I'm going to try to get through some of these questions that have come in already, and I'm going to kind of try to go in order. All right. Hi, Emma. And if you're just joining me, feel free to say hi and tell me where you're watching from. Or if you have a question, if you have a comment, please put it in there. I'd love to hear from you guys. Okay, so Emma says, tell me more information about a T visa. Okay, that's T like Teddy. She says, tell me more about a T visa. So what is a T visa? A T visa is a humanitarian visa. So basically, it's given to people in kind of a difficult situation. And this, most often, the ones we work with most often are for labor trafficking. It can also be for sex trafficking as well. So basically, you have to prove to the government that you were brought in here as a result of trafficking. So for example, if you were forced to work, if you came to the US illegally, or you entered with papers and then your visa status expired, and then your employer was kind of taking advantage of your immigration status. They were abusive. They weren't paying you what they were supposed to pay you. Maybe, abuse is kind of telling you, that there's nothing that you can do because you don't have papers, right? So if you're in a bad employment situation, I would say let's screen you for a T visa, because a T visa can be a huge benefit, and you don't have to be in it right now. It could be in the past as well. So a T visa will get you protection in the U.S. There's no cap on it like a U visa, so you can get it much faster than you could otherwise get a U visa, for example, which is for victims of crime and which are very popular, right? So the T visa is more immediate. You can get benefits sooner. If you receive it, it'll be approved for 4 years. And after 3 years, you can apply for a green card. And then, of course, once you have your green card, you have a pathway to U.S. citizenship, right? So it's a huge, it can be really beneficial if you qualify. So I would say if you kind of have a bad employment situation, if the employer didn't pay you overtime when they were supposed to, if the employer didn't pay you the minimum wage, if you worked more hours than you were supposed to, and you talked to them about it, or maybe you didn't talk to them about it, but you got the sense that you didn't have a choice but to do that, or you would be harmed or threatened or whatnot, then you might qualify for a T visa. Okay, call us. We'll definitely talk to you and screen you for that. You can call us and schedule a consultation, 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. Would love to chat with you about that too. Poonam says hello. Hi, Poonam. If you have a question, go ahead and put that in there. I'm happy that you're joining us, and I hope you enjoy, or I hope you find this informative. Arvind says, I filed my asylum from 8 years ago, still no immigration date till now. Asylum is just taking a long time, right? But hopefully you have work authorization and you can continue with your work authorization. But the newer ones are getting interviews sooner. So if you have one from a long time ago, you might be a long time before you are able to get an interview. All right. Poonam says, I've been waiting for 15 months for my K1, K2 visa. K1 and K2 is a big process, and a lot of it depends on the embassy that you need to be getting this visa at, right? So the embassy has to schedule that interview. They are taking a really long time. We have some that are waiting over a couple of years, unfortunately. So I would say the best thing you can do is have a thorough, complete application in the beginning. Right, that first part gets approved here in the U.S. with USCIS, and then it gets sent over to the embassy to schedule the interview and stamp your visa. So have a thorough application. You know, if you can work with a lawyer, you know you did most things correctly. So give us a call if we can help you with that. 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I work with clients all throughout the United States. Would love to schedule a consultation with any of you. Okay? All right, great. Poonam, you already did your biometrics. Okay. Yeah, it is going to take a long time. Arvinder says, can I go to Canada for the holidays by road from Seattle if my asylum is still in process? I would not travel if you have asylum in process, right? Can I travel outside the U.S.? I would not travel because part of asylum is showing that there's no other country where you can remain, or there's no other country that would allow you to live there where you can be safe, right? So if you travel outside the U.S., you're making it more difficult for yourself to get asylum. So I would stay in the U.S. until your asylum application is approved. I know that's a huge ask, but give us a call if we can talk to you more about that. 703-348-1663. How can an F1 student get a green card after graduation? How can an F1 student get a green card after graduation? So the typical path, right, is to have employment-based sponsorship. So many times you can have employment-based sponsorship when an employer hires you, you work after graduation. It's called OPT, which allows you to work for at least 1 year, up to 3 years on OPT. Most people go this route. You don't have to, but most people will do OPT after graduation, then get an H-1B, which is essentially good for 6 years. And while in that H-1B process, their employer sponsors them for a green card. There's options to change employers during this whole process. So I'd be happy to chat with you more about it. Call us for a consultation, 703-348-1663. That is not the only way, right? So you might qualify, you might get married, and you might do a green card through marriage, or you might be qualified for a humanitarian situation too. So there may be other ways, but this is the most typical way that students end up staying permanently in the U.S., ultimately becoming citizens. They go from F1 to OPT to H-1B and to a green card. You can also be sponsored directly for a green card, but you've got to remain in status that entire time, which can be problematic for some people. Happy to chat with you with regard to timing and options and whatnot. Give us a call, 703-348-1663. So Poonam, all right, so Poonam is asking about a K1, K2 visa. So I'm concerned, Poonam, that you might not qualify for the application that you applied for. So K1 and K2, K1 and K2 visas, this is a situation. You have a U.S. citizen here, right? So you have a U.S. citizen who is engaged to someone who is abroad. So most of the time they're not here, okay? So most of the time they're not here, they're abroad, and they're only coming in to get married. So that is a K1, K2 situation. People in the U.S. don't qualify for K1, K2. You have to process it abroad. So maybe they apply for a K1. So I need to get more details, I guess, about your situation. So K1 is a fiance visa for those of you that are unfamiliar. It's a fiance visa. So a U.S. citizen is the only person that can do a fiance visa. Green card holders are not able to do a fiance visa. Okay, call us if we can help you, 703-348-1663. But Poonam, essentially, it's for people who are engaged to get a visa so they can come to the U.S. and get married within 90 days of entry. That's what a fiance visa is. It can take a really long time. It is for some of our clients. Unfortunately, they've been put in administrative processing. Nothing, nothing that you can control necessarily. And so, we've provided all the documents and the embassy is stuck. So it has been taking a really long time for some people. So that's not unusual. The other thing you can do is consider just getting married. If you're with a U.S. citizen here in the U.S., you entered legally, you probably don't qualify for the K1 or K2 if you're out of status and you're here in the U.S. So what I would do otherwise is get married, and then they can sponsor you perhaps. I'm not sure if you qualify. I would need to talk with you more, but you may have other options that are actually faster than the K1, K2 visa. So give us a call, 703-348-1663. All right. Okay. Let me see what other questions here. If you apply for a green card, do you automatically become a U.S. citizen? Right? If you apply for a green card, do you automatically become a U.S. citizen? No. So most of the time you have to be a green card holder for 3 years or so. If you're married to a U.S. citizen, you can apply for citizenship after 3 years as a green card holder. Most other categories, you have to be a green card holder for 5 years, and then you can apply for U.S. citizenship. But you have to apply. You can't just automatically qualify, and there are many eligibility factors that can impact whether or not you're going to be eligible for citizenship. So you want to talk about that maybe with a lawyer. Give us a call, 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. If you want to schedule a consultation on your own, you can go to our Facebook page or our website, which is agarwalimmigration.com. Okay, agarwalimmigration.com, where you can also go on our Facebook page and you can self-schedule a consultation with me. You can do it by Zoom, by phone, or in person if you want to come into the office. We're located outside of DC in Arlington, Virginia. Okay? All right, Mueller here on YouTube is saying, I have a VAWA pending and a 485 pending, and I've been issued a travel document. Is it safe to travel to my country? I came without inspection. So technically, yes, you can travel to your country, but the risk that you're taking, Mueller, is that if something negative happens in your VAWA case, or if they start asking you questions about your VAWA application when you're entering and you're not with a lawyer and you're not prepared for it because you've been sitting on a plane for however long, you may cause more problems for yourself in your application in the future. So number one, if you've ever filed for asylum, no, you can't leave here and go visit your home country. Absolutely not, because that makes your asylum application look fraudulent, right? So number one. Number two, you can technically travel and come back on the VAWA travel authorization. I've had clients do it, but I do not recommend it. I would not recommend it. If you can, if you can avoid it, that's what I would do. I know sometimes people have been in the U.S. for a really long time. They've never been home, haven't been home for years. I know you want to go back, and I want you to go back, but wait for the green card, right? Wait for the green card before you leave the country, just so you know you can come back. You've already invested so much in this application. Don't jeopardize it. Okay, give us a call if we can help you with any of that. That's 703-348-1663. You can also schedule a consultation on the firm's website, agarwalimmigration.com, or on our Facebook page. All right. Shiva says, are there still interviews for an I-360, or do they waive them? No, actually an I-360 is approved without interview. So this is for situations, for example, many people can qualify for this. An I-360 is VAWA in many cases, although the I-360 application is used for many different, types of qualifications, I guess, like religious workers and victims of abuse and people who have spouses that passed away and whatnot. So in terms of VAWA I-360s, the I-360 is basically a petition showing that you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. This is one classification, and that you're a victim of abuse, that you lived with them for X amount of time. That is usually approved without interview. Where there is an interview is the second part of it. Usually it's a green card interview. That's when there is an interview. So the I-360 portion is approved without interview. And then later, you will have an interview for the green card portion. To that interview, you go by yourself. You know, if you have a spousal-based VAWA, you don't bring your spouse. You go alone to the interview. This is a self-petition, so you don't need your spouse. The idea is that you can apply for this green card without your spouse because there's abuse in the marriage, right? So it wouldn't make any sense for you to bring your spouse to the green card interview. So, so essentially, you know, you go to the interview for the green card, and if there's no questions or kind of concerns about a fraudulent VAWA, they will not ask questions about the VAWA. They're not technically allowed to ask questions about the VAWA at all. So about the abuse in the marriage, that's what I mean, not the VAWA. They're not allowed to ask questions about the abuse. So the green card interview will be focused on your eligibility for a green card. So health issues, what organizations are you a part of? Have you ever had weapons training? What crimes have you committed? Those types of things. So that's what should be the focus of the green card interview if all goes well. Okay, hope that answers your question, Rohit. Thanks for the question. All right. Poonam says, I want to work and I need a social security card, so how will I get that while I'm waiting for my green card? A pending green card application will allow you to have work authorization. So for us, you know, if you're in the U.S., you're married to either a green card holder or a U.S. citizen, and you qualify. So don't just apply, because sometimes you won't qualify if you're out of status. So you want to make sure that you're eligible, because these filing fees can be quite hefty at times, right? So if you qualify and you're in the U.S., a pending green card application will also be something that you can apply for a work permit with. So we apply for at the same time for the green card, the work authorization, and the travel authorization, along with the petition that the green card application is based on. So there's a lot to think about there. You want to make sure you're applying for the right thing. Give us a call if we can help you, 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. All right. How long after all documents have been accepted will the NVC interview be scheduled? After all the documents are accepted, currently I think it's going to take anywhere between 7 months to 12 months. Sometimes it's faster and you're lucky, but I think you should expect that it's going to take between 7 to 12 months after NVC documentarily qualifies everything you've submitted. So basically NVC is saying it's okay, now we're going to move it over to the embassy. Okay? Give us a call if you have any questions, 703-348-1663. All right. Richa says, I called your office to schedule, no one got back to me. I'm so sorry to hear that, Richa. We have a policy actually to call back every single person that calls our office, even our missed calls. So why don't you give us a call back and leave, hopefully you were calling the right number. So the phone number is 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. We have a policy of returning all of our missed calls, so go ahead and do that. If you want us to call you, you can even go to the contact us page and message us on our website, agarwalimmigration.com, and leave your phone number, and we can give you a call to schedule. But you can schedule at any time. You can schedule a consultation right now. You can do it on Facebook. We have our consultation link. You'll see my availability. You can choose a time that works for you and schedule directly on the Facebook our Facebook page. You can also do it on our firm website, agarwalimmigration.com. Poonam says, thank you so much for answering all my questions. God bless you. You're welcome. I hope you get on the right track, Poonam. Call us. I think that it might be helpful to just clarify what the process is, okay? Give us a call, 703-348-1663. All right, Rachel, I will look into that, okay? Are they doing interviews for green card holders? For a green card, I'm guessing. You mean, are they doing interviews for a green card? A green card interview? Yes, yeah. Most of the time they do interviews for a green card. Sometimes they waive it. Like sometimes we have minors that are applying that, don't get an interview. Other times we have parents that get an interview waived. They don't get an interview. And sometimes, in some cases, even the marriage-based clients are not getting an interview and they're getting approved without interview, which is exciting. For some people, they can avoid it. It happens a little bit faster. Okay, call us if we can help, 703-348-1663. Of course, go check out our website, agarwalimmigration.com, or our Facebook page at Agarwal Immigration, and you will be able to schedule your own consultation if you would like. Okay? All right, here's a question that comes up actually more often. It's a little bit sad. My U.S. citizen spouse passed away before my green card application was approved, right? So especially during COVID, sorry, I'm going to take a little sip. I'm getting a little throaty here. Especially during COVID, there were people with pending green card applications. Their spouse got really sick or they passed away. So what happens to that green card application? So you can convert that to a self-petition and apply for yourself, right? So you have to show that the marriage was real. You have to show that your spouse actually passed away. So if your U.S. citizen spouse passed away and you're within 2 years of that death, you can apply for a green card on your own, right? There are different requirements, but you can still apply for that green card if you're within 2 years of the time they passed away. So I know it's really hard to think about that when your spouse just passed away, but it's something that you might want to take care of, or at least talk to someone about taking care of that for you. All right, call us 703-348-1663 if we can help you with any kind of green card application, okay? So can my wife petition for my kids in Africa while my case is still pending? I don't know what kind of case you have, so I don't know for sure. But give us a call and I can answer that for you. All right? Okay. I think that's all I'm going to be able to get to today. I'm so sorry if you would like to, if I missed your question. I know I missed a couple people's question. Hi, Mohammed. I didn't even say hello to you. I missed a couple of questions, so I don't, I know that I didn't get to them. I'm so sorry, but you know what? I will be on again, I promise. You can always call our office to schedule something with me, but go ahead and join early, put your questions up, and I'm on all these different platforms, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. Our handle is at Agarwal Immigration, all of them. If you don't already like us or follow us on these platforms, please do so, because that's when you get notified when I'm on to ask questions. As soon as you hop on, I'll be able to answer them for you. But unfortunately, since I have some sick kids at home, I've got to hop off today. But it was so nice to see so many of you join here. I hope that what we talked about was helpful for you. I look forward to meeting some of you by phone or in person and whatnot. And I will see you soon, as I'm getting texts from my daughter to come home. All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.